Hi there, history fans. So today we have another video from Sam O'Nella Academy, and it's called Pre-Industrial Surgeries. As always, I'm going to give some additional thoughts, opinions, infos if I have some, and I would like your corrections, additional information, thoughts, and so on. As always, the link to the original video is going to be in the description below. This suggestion came by our Discord members, and the link to the Discord server is also going to be in the description below. So if you want to join it, feel free to join it. Or you can also subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube so that you get notified when new videos come out. Okay, I'm kind of interested how and what he's going to cover in this video. But okay, let's watch. Let's watch. Grab your coffee or tea.
Hey kids, had a bad day? Well, could be worse. You could be living in a world without modern anesthetic. Today, we'll be talking about some surgical procedures carried out long before the development of medicine as we know it today. Now, once you go back a certain distance, the line between operation and mutilation is pretty thin. So, for our purposes, surgery refers to any bodily manipulation carried out with the intent of fixing some injury or illness. And away we go. The very first surgery that we have historical evidence for dates as far back as 6500 BC. It's called trepanning, which is a nice word for carving someone's frickin' skull open using nothing but a rock. Maybe a rock on a stick if you were lucky. In all seriousness though, you can see that a good deal of care went into the procedure, which lets us know that this isn't just the result of random injury. Many skulls even showed signs of healing around the holes, meaning plenty of the people who underwent this whole thing just got up and went about their day afterwards. Alright, hold on, you say. This all
Just to give a little bit of context, 6,500 BC, that's on the verge from the Mesolithic to the Neolithic age, so it's still the Stone Age, and that's why they're using stones. And two interesting things, the oldest city in the world is actually Jericho, and it's approximately 10,000 BC, so old. And the oldest in Europe is Skara in Scotland, and it's around 3000 BC. So what? Okay, so they found skulls with a round shaped thing. Look at this. Yeah, that looks clean. But maybe it wasn't surgery. Maybe, I mean, it doesn't look like you know, like a wound from a battle, but maybe it was some kind of a ritual or something like that. I don't know how to prove it, if it was an, you know, either a ritual or a, I don't know, a surgery or something like that. If there are any archaeologists watching this, let me know in the comment section.
Around the holes, meaning plenty of the people who underwent this whole thing just got up and went about their day afterwards. Alright, hold on, you say. This all sounds guano insane. No way this was that common of an occurrence. Well, friend, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you should know that if you give human beings the benefit of the doubt, chances are they'll prove you wrong. In fact, so far, over 1,500 trepanned skulls have been dug up all across the globe, from Europe to China and even the Americas. This means that between 5 and 10% of all skulls that we've found from the Neolithic period have had at least one man-made hole scraped into them.
Okay, this is huge, because at that time, you know, like, you didn't have any modern transportation or practically any transportation, and the domestication of the horse comes way later. So I'm kind of interested if they found also something in Africa, because if it was a ritual or a surgery or something like that, then the idea traveled practically throughout the whole world, kind of connected. But you know, like, okay, Europe and Asia is like a big land mass, and they're connected. You know, like, you kind of can go from here to there and maybe bring some traditions, I mean, some things and so on. It was way more a travel route. But how the hell did it go to here? in 5 to 10% of all Neolithic skulls. Whoa.
That we've found from the Neolithic period have had at least one man-made hole scraped into them. To put it this way, based on that data, there's a greater probability of someone born in the late Stone Age having their brain matter exposed by some shaman with a chunk of flint than someone born in the USA being a redhead. To this day, nobody really knows why this was such a common practice, but most theories tend to revolve around the idea of releasing some kind of dark supernatural force from the patient. Man, I'm getting real sick of all these evil entities infecting our minds and bodies. Huh, you can say that again. I tell you, I need these demons like I need a hole in the head. No, wait. Fast forward to 600 BC. Over in India, there lived a guy called Maharshi Susruta. Now, this guy was a medical mastermind. He wrote a treatise known as Susruta Samhita. No, wait. Fast forward to 600 BC. Over in India, there lived a guy called Maharshi Susruta. Now, this guy was a medical mastermind.
Proper dump frequency. Other. We're looking. Spirogis make your pee-pee smell.
He wrote a treatise known as Susruta Samhita, which described countless different conditions, treatments, and yes, even surgeries, one of which is the first recorded instance of rhinoplasty. That means nose job. A hornbill's a type of bird. I'm here too. Anyway, here's how it's done according to Susruta. First, you get them plastered, obviously. Second, you use a leaf to measure out the part of the nose you want fixed. Then, you use the
Interesting thing, one of the oldest breweries found, I think, is in today's Israel, and it's in the city of Hamfa, and it dates approximately 10,000 BC, or 10,000 BC, I think, and it was one of the oldest breweries found. So alcohol, it's for a long time a part of, like, culture, tradition of the humanoids, whatever. So it's a big tradition throughout the whole practically world, because alcohol was also consumed in the Americas and throughout Asia and Europe and so on. And like getting a person drunk before like the pre-industrial era is kind of normal, because who the hell would go through this pain like sober? So, kind of logical.
Leaf to cut off a flap of skin from the...
And alcohol was actually in use as a, is it called in English a sedative? Like when you just, for a long time. So I think until the 18th, 19th century, something like that. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah.
Part of the nose you want fixed. Then, you use the leaf to cut off a flap of skin from the cheek or forehead of the patient. This part's important though. You gotta remember to leave a little piece of it still attached. Otherwise, you just got a chunk of dirty dead face meat on your hands. Now, wherever you're looking to stick the new flesh on, you rub that part raw with a knife. Also, you're gonna want to stick 2 plant stalks in their nostrils so their nose keeps its proper shape. Slap the skin on, suture it, dust it with licorice powder for some reason, and cover it with cotton. Sesame oil should be regularly applied until the skin is fully healed. If you're like me, you already do that by default, so it shouldn't be an issue. Finally, at long last, your sniffer is reborn. Don't worry, you still look like a freak, just slightly less so. Moving on, our next surgery took place in 10th century Spain.
I mean, if you have a big hole here, and like all the things from the surgery, scars and everything, why should you even do that? I mean, just let the nose be as it is. Okay, 10th century Spain, it's around the Reconquista era. So a lot of the Iberian Peninsula was previously taken by the Arabs, the Moors, the Moorish tribes. And that's around the era of the Spanish Reconquista.
On Sancho I of Leon, otherwise known as Sancho the Fat. Now, normally back in the day, having some meat on your bones was a sign of wealth and power and all that, but this guy was like TLC documentary tier, to the point where he could hardly function as a human being. So his constituents said, "Greetings, your thickness. You can't be king anymore on account of you keep breaking every horse we give you, and nobody wants to wash between your accordion-like neck folds no more. more. After his adipose got him deposed, Sancho decided to seek medical help for his condition under the oversight of well-reputed physician Hasdai ibn Shaprut, which is an anagram for paintbrush aids. Now, if there's one thing that medieval man understood, it's practicality. Lap band, gastric bypass, belly balloon, these all exist to help people who...
Okay, what is he going to do? Which surgery is he going to undertake? I mean, like, I don't know, maybe he's going to cut some parts of his belly and then stitch it together. I really don't know. But the part of the name, the Ibna, is indicated that it's an indication that it's a Moor, so an Arab. And during the Reconquista in the early ages, they were still, trading off with Christians. I mean, the Muslims and the Christians and so on. And they were also trading with knowledge and information and stuff. So it was pretty, I wouldn't say common, but in normal terms that, a Muslim would perform, medical service to a Christian or vice versa. But
who don't have the self-control to stop eating so much on their own. But Dr. Chapadou didn't believe in beating around the bush. He said, well, why don't we just stop the patient from shoving food into his own greasy maw in the first place? And decided to just up and stitch the dude's lips together. After the operation, the only nutrients that Sancho received came through a straw, in the form of a mixture known as thoraica, which was a complex blend of several herbs, fruits, and seeds, including opium.
I always need to cry from laughter while I'm watching Salmonella videos. I mean, okay, I guess you can't put a lot of food in your mouth that way. So yeah, technically you can get skinnier, but... And what? After he got skinnier, they just removed the stitches? And then he probably started to eat again and then got fat again? I don't know.
Known as thoraica, which was a complex blend of several herbs, fruits, and seeds, including opium. It was basically the closest thing you could find to lean at the time, and lean he became, losing around half his weight before ascending to the throne once more. So this is the part of the video where I pander to the desires of the audience. If there's one thing I know you internet people can't get enough of, it's things going inside people's eyeballs. Let's talk about cataract surgery. The art of dealing with people's clouded lenses has been around for millennia, believe it or not. That Susruta guy from earlier actually talked about the most common procedure for cataracts for most of civilized history, which is known as the couching method. Couching is done by taking a sharp object like a needle or a thorn and ever so gently stabbing their eye hole at weird angles until the lens moves out of the way. No lasers, no sedatives, no paralytics, just a rusty old pin and some elbow grease, the way God intended. The majority of the time, this operation didn't work, usually just damaging the already blind eye irreparably. Shocker, right? And even
I mean, yeah, I'm not shocked, I'm not surprised at all.
If it did go as planned, you still, didn't have a lens in your eye, so you essentially went from, I can't tell if I'm dead or not, to, yes, it is quite yellow out today. By God, something moved somewhere. A slightly more refined version of this operation is the suction method, which dates back to at least the 10th century AD, if not older. This procedure is described as requiring, quote, a large incision in the eye, a hollow needle, and an assistant with an extraordinary lung capacity. Though this reads like the setup to the world's most horrifying party trick, it's actually the bare minimum number of tools needed to completely extract the lens from the eye. In case you didn't pick up on how, here's a diagram. This method generally saw a greater success rate and fewer complications than its non-extracting counterpart. So hopefully you can sleep well tonight knowing that the number of human beings who have sucked a piece of somebody's living eyeball through a straw is above zero. Anywho, let's all just be thankful that we live in an era where procedures like these are a thing of the past. Now remember,
yeah, I'm definitely thankful for that. I never undertook a bigger procedure. A life, some serious procedures and so on. But damn, if I needed to, I'm pretty have a I'm pretty happy that I'm living in this time of the
Kids,
world,
even though the surgeries I described here do sound
time
pretty
of
easy
history.
to pull off, please don't try them at home. But if you
No,
do,
don't try
please
them.
put it on Live Leak afterwards. But you know what you can do at home? Learn stuff about things with Brilliant.org. Brilliant's elegant UI and
Oh,
step-by-step design makes learning seemingly complex topics very intuitive, especially for
the
visual
sponsor.
learners like me. Don't think you can understand special relativity? With Brilliant, I bet you can. I'm just some kid in a room somewhere, and even I got the basics. Check this
Yeah,
out.
I'm just gonna
Relativistic laser
reduce the
pen.
volume and
Don't
let the
tell me that
sponsors
doesn't
play.
sound fun. Then later when you're
Yeah, I
talking to your
mean,
friends, you can
I
go like,
can't
yeah, I'm
add
taking a course in
a lot to
special
this
relativity
video.
right now. No big
I
deal.
mean,
Maybe gonna hit the quantum
the
object in a couple
topics.
weeks. So
I'm
to
kind of
support
surprised
me
that
in
he didn't
broadening
mention
your
something from
understanding
the,
of
I don't
math
know,
and science,
18th
go to
or 19th century or something like that.
brilliant.org/salmonella and sign up
Uh,
for free.
but
Also,
yeah,
the first
we all
200
know
people
like
that go
the
to that
invention of
link will get
morphium was a
20%
big
off all
thing
new premium
because then you
subscriptions.
could,
Anyway, till next time,
what is it
I'm
called? Like
Salmonella, and watch out for
sedative the
Jake.
people so that they could, you know, like undergo the surgeries and reduce the pain and everything. But yeah, one of the common things. I mean, it wasn't a surgery, but what are those things called in English? You know, like that you put on the skin and then they suck out the blood, and that was also a method that was used for a long time. But we have a lot of surgeries that were recorded. In some Celtic tribes in Europe, as far as I know, and also in Egypt. Egypt was well known for its medicine and surgeries, and also the different cultures and states then that were evolving in Mesopotamia, and I mean all the early cultures in general. So Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, and China. But yeah, an interesting video once again. It's salmonella. It's just salmonella. I don't have to say anything else. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to be part of our history community, just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And until next time, see ya.